I will fuck you up. That's a fact. My first year at the unit, 23 of my brothers died just in training. I got some medals on my chest for killing an RPG team, close quarter, very close quarter. There are IEDs everywhere. That's a great question. I'll tell you why. This is why I don't watch a lot of military films, specifically from my generation. Maybe because it's too close to my heart. And it's not that I romanticize them. It's quite the opposite. I know the grit and the dirt. I know what it smells like. Never when you watch one of these pictures about Afghanistan or Iraq do you feel the punishing heat, sweat soaked through your body armor. Those things you can't see on a two-dimensional image. I also believe the glamorization of weapons, violence, it's almost pornographic, like with the video games. And you know, I'm in the video game. I'm a very popular video game character in Call of Duty. It desensitized people to the responsibility of carrying a weapon and the responsibility of taking lives. I think it's not right because people can enjoy entertainment of fighting war, but won't be involved with at least witnessing on the news what's happening with our foreign policy. You know, it's a complex world, and speaking about it is complex for me. My first year at the unit, 23 of my brothers died just in training. Some of the harrowing, like badass stuff I did, I completely forgot. And I was in a mental institution for a year, about 10 years ago, for veterans like me. And it was one of the hardest times of my life. And we have a meeting called Triple Threat. PTSD, combat veteran, substance abuse. So I was at the meeting. It was there on the compound called the Veterans Village in San Diego. And a young man comes in, and it's all active duty and veterans. Because now the active duty guys are having serious hard times because the wars haven't stopped. It's about 2010, right? 2012. And this young man says, Sergeant Reyes? This was a Lance Corporal that worked as a tow gunner on a Humvee that I utilized to insert and extract me and to overwatch with that incredible rocket system of his. He then went and picked up a commission and became an officer and now is having problems. And I said, oh my gosh, Augie, is that you? He goes, yeah, oh my gosh, you look awesome, your long hair, everything. Generation Kill is great. And he said, man, I'll never forget you climbing that bridge over the Euphrates with the explosives. And somebody on the net said, look at Sergeant Reyes, he's Spider-Man. And he goes, are you guest speaking here? And what a punch in the heart, man. I started to hold back some tears because I used to fucking be somebody. Somebody that could do something special. And I had to tell him, no, I live here. And then to see his face become saddened. And in a sense, that's the both sides of the same coin. What we've done is beautiful in its commitment and purity. What it's taken is everything. So when I look at Afghanistan and Iraq, I look at it the same way. It has made me who I am now able to impact the world. No one would know I existed if I was not first a war hero. There would be no movies or books written about me. There would be no television series. There would be no hero living. There would be no SAS and Special Forces. But what it took is everything. I lost my wife, lost my kid, my son, who I adore, lost my sanity, lost my money, lost my self-respect. I lost it all. And I used to be angry at myself about what a dumbass I was. How come I didn't see it coming? Why didn't I see it coming? You should have been stronger, Rudy. You should have been smarter. Now I realize I couldn't have been, that I did the best I could. So I don't regret anything anymore. So I did a documentary called Once Upon a Time in Iraq that was very, very famous here in the UK. I had no idea. It won the BAFTA. James Blumenthal had been working with me for 3 years as a friend, as a brother, seeing me in Hong Kong, seeing me in New York, seeing me in LA. One day he asked me when I was in New York if I'd like to come sit down in the chair and talk a little bit about my experience of the invasion. I worked about 3 hours there, drinking tequila, talking. Remember, I was in a tougher space then. This is 6 years ago. You know, in those days, I'd still need to drink alcohol before I got in front of a camera, especially if we're gonna talk about war. That was cut together with people from all over Iraq and the US that were involved in the invasion. And it was so impactful. It won the BAFTA for documentary. And SAS, Sophie from Minnow Films said, after she saw that film, and you can quote her, she got on the phone and said, "Get me Rudy Reyes." So I did a piece of work. Oh, by the way, that documentary, I didn't get paid or anything like that. No, this is just from my heart. He said he needed my help to understand Iraq. And so I did. And then 2 years later, I got a call. You know, the whole thing with Ant Middleton is kind of, some things I regret. First of all, I had no idea I was replacing him. I thought I was just a new DS. I had no idea. You understand that? I hope the UK understands that. I thought I was just the new backup DS. It wasn't until I'd already done a recce with Billy, and Billy's my hero. After doing recce's and meeting the team and being in Jordan and then coming back home to the US, getting a call that they would like me to lead this thing, I said, with respect, I do not feel comfortable. The name of the show is SAS, not Recon. Billy said, "Mate, you've got the energy, mate. Do it, mate." And then I found out that Ant was fired. And then I had no idea. Then I read some stuff. And the UK press are very tricky, and they look to trip you up, which is sad. I don't know why. Maybe it's the same way in the US, but they look to trip you up because they want something that's gonna sound scandalous or something that elicits an emotional response. I think Ant was out there saying stuff about recon and all this, and he has no idea about my military. Our military is not set up like the British. The Marine Corps is all by itself. And of 300,000 Marines, there's only 300 men like me. And you guys can judge for yourself. I'm 51 years old. Do I look like I'm slowing down? Do I look like I come from a place that's easy? We're the best in the world, and there's a reason why we fight at the forward edge of battle. He started talking trash on me and my unit. And you know what? I got fired up. I'm like, brother, come talk trash to me in my face. I will fuck you up. People that know me know how I fight. And I'm a real fighter. I will fuck you up. You want to talk shit to me. So then, you know, he pops off, and people's work speaks for themselves. He had it all, and he fucked up because it got to his head. And there's a reason why people don't want to work with him. Well, you know what's so wild? So we didn't know that he was going to go do this other reality show. I didn't know him, and I didn't know the scandal. You know, we were going through our own stuff across the pond. As a DS, our job is to assess immediately the recruits on their merit. That's the whole purpose of this program. We don't care about the baggage that you brought in. You have an opportunity to be received as equals, and through merit and through challenge and through discipline and coming together as a team, you can make it. He possessed a lot of mental and physical grit. He is more than he lets on. I can see why he was successful at that young age to be so high up in government and in business. He's an incredibly intelligent man. But brother, if a man or woman is not grounded in ethics and morality, if someone does not have a connection to integrity, power corrupts, and I think that's what happened to him. I wish him his best. to utilize that incredible brain he's got to good use to help people. I wish him my best. He definitely put out really hard, and I think the audience will be surprised.